Today is July 23rd at Glenwild. Starting up front, Eric requested pathways in front area, really tidied, weeded, raked through for their men's member event that's happening soon. So we got the penstemon deadheaded, anything else that needed it also deadheaded, so that these beautiful purpley blues can shine, and the black-eyed Susan and coneflower, those are coming up soon. All this was weeded and raked through as well, and then it looks like someone graciously watered it for us as well, so it's all nice and dark soil and watered. These three grasses are definitely still kind of iffy, but we'll see. Yeah, and just really getting in with the lilies today and cutting back those stems all the way down. A lot of them were like the top snipped and looked really half done. So up in here we've got the columbine thriving, looking wild. A little bit of the white and the yarrow. The catmint's kind of under control. Pathway we did blow out. People are walking on it. We kick that back. But this area looks really clean. These little shrubs, you know, from the storms, have always had a hard time, but overall not too bad. There's a couple down there that I think we could combine and that would look better. We also cleaned up the Russian sage and kind of picked up the tiny sprouts so that it's more localized. And eventually we'll deadhead those when it's time. And then up front, we did get some nice compliments today from golf club members, but we weeded and deadheaded all the way through the annuals in these beds, and then fluffed them, and they're getting so well watered. It's looking really, really nice. I know we had a frost and some things took a hit, but overall quite nice. The planters too, pretty flawless. This stuff gets a little bit swallowed up by everything else, but that's okay. We just want like a hint of the grass. Those white petunias are doing great. But right all the way through here and around behind the valet as well. Got weeded and raked through. All of this soil nicely fluffed. There's some morning glory and things growing over there that we handled, but overall kind of letting it grow in and fill in for the summer. Here's another view of the front. So we fluffed all of the exposed soil. We got into this dry riverbed, and then also behind around there. The planters, we did a little deadheading from wherever we could reach, but they're looking pretty solid. Really like this one. Some are flourishing more than others. And here we're keeping these two main groups, and we're not letting it spread all the way in or mingle with the weeds. It's kind of nice to just see that. And then we cut this back as well. I'm going to kick this rock a little further down. Doesn't need to be out there. Some deadheading, fluffing, weeding. Maybe picking up some debris. There were leaves and things. Looks like someone rode a bike right through here. I'm not sure what happened. Walk your bike, it says. So cleaned up, all cleaned up and fluffed. I would say we spent a lot of time with the lilies, letting the asters still bloom. It's really pretty. And we had to chop down a little bit of these dead stems on these shrubs. They were really, really dead, and it just looks cleaner now. And here's just a nice big view of the bed. Very clean and tidy. All the way down. We may have to deadhead the daisies eventually, but they're okay for today and for next week too, I'm sure. We could maybe shape up the catmint at some point soon, maybe next time. Just give it a nice trim like a shrub. Some of it's growing new, some of it's not. This looks nice and fresh and new. And we're still gonna hit this with a leaf blower and go over what we have yet to go over before we head to the driveway entry. Here's another view of the middle bed and the above. Alrighty, so all of the planters got attention, all of the main beds got attention. Even in here, we picked up sticks and weeded. And then here's a nice view of behind the valet area. All cleaned up. There was some morning glory and the lilies, and then underneath here, nice and clean. We'll hit the leaf blower through this. We took out a couple big burr weeds from this section, and then deadheading and weeding all along here as well. Really tidying and fluffing this area. These little cone flowers. Okay, and then deadheading the planters. So trying to keep them a little straighter. But they have a mind of their own sometimes. The pink petunia is phenomenal. It's growing so big in a lot of them, especially this one, which would be nice if we brought another pink wave petunia and just plopped it in right here. This one looks like it's lacking compared to the rest, and definitely we could beef up with like some more geraniums, but I know it's already midsummer, so maybe we won't do that kind of thing and we'll just let them be as they are. Beautiful planters. We did some weeding up in here, and then down here is where we removed 4 really large burr weeds and also thistle. Yeah, so there's a really big one in this area and over in this area as well. Just have to dig them out deeper next time. All these planters are pretty great. The one in the corner is a little bit just not receiving enough sunlight, but it still looks pretty. It's just not thriving like the others, so it's acceptable. Weeding all along down here. Picking up debris. And then we took out a lot of tree sprouts and deadheaded the penstemon. Also some morning glory. This all got fluffed. This all got cleaned, deadheaded. This vine was growing into the apple trees and the pear trees, so I did try to extract it as best as possible. You know, there's like a main stalk kind of coming here, so I didn't cut the main stalk, of course, but just tidying up and around. And I'm noticing they're getting crazy. There's these long pieces growing up, and the trellises look kind of janky. So if we could implement a new trellis system for 5, it would be 5 trellises for these fruit trees. I think that could look a little bit more put together. This one's wild. It just grows up and up and up, and this one, and they suffered a lot of damage over the winter, but they're persevering. Love to see that. And then the lilies we did a lot of attention to as well. Fluffed, weeded, took out dead leaves. Let's bring the twine for next time, and stakes as well. I would say 4 stakes and some really nice garden twine for this section specifically. The other one's okay. We could maybe preemptively tie it together, but it's just that kind of thing we need to be thinking about. These planters were deadheaded and checked on and zhuzhed up. Really liking how they're looking. Over here, weeding, deadheading, fluffing through. And we are going to head out to the driveway real soon and get that handled. But all of this is beautiful. Really loving seeing this color here. Over here, some weeding, some weeding. quite nice planter. All of the pool bed planters were deadheaded and ready for more blooms. So we've got some nice pinks and they're really like quite phenomenal. Love those. Yeah, overall the pool bed's doing pretty solid. The lilies are blooming and the weeds are at bay, so that makes us happy. And then we also did the middle circle and the U shape around the whole. This was deadheaded and weeded. And team is organizing. But yeah, it's just much cleaner. Those blues. And then over here, weeding, picking up debris. But otherwise, just letting things grow. They're still in the process of flowering. Pardon me. We did have a little chomp chomp, it looks like, from something eating that. But these are looking pretty great. And then I'm going to stitch this with the rest of the videos. Thank you. Okay, up front of the driveway, also weeded through, deadheaded, and raked. And it's looking quite nice on this side. A couple of the grasses are more questionable. You know, this one up front and the one on the end aren't as lush as any of the ones over there. So it's a bit of a downer, but we still have some really nice color and plant materials surviving. So that's nice. Thank you. And then at the driving range bed that we planted this year, weeded, raked, fluffed through, removed dead. Mostly removing dead from the irises and the trees. There were just these little itty bits of death that we snipped off, and it made a difference. There's this one branch that's like double tied with a couple things right there that looks pretty dead, but since it's marked with two different types of rope or tape, I think we'll just leave that. Maybe they're doing something with that, so let them handle that. But we did the rest and really nicely fluffed, so it looks super fresh. Ooh, this is so pretty too. A little bit dry though. The penstemon, very dry, but overall stoked. Thank you.